In this video, I'm going to tell you about Isabella's husband, who betrayed her, leaving her with years of pain. But through self-reflection and therapy, she embraced forgiveness, found peace, and opened her heart to new love. Hey there, my amazing friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, your friend, Teacher Sam, and I'm so excited to have you here today. Today's story isn't just any story, it's a powerful way to boost your English skills and learn faster. As we explore Isabella's journey, you'll discover new words and phrases in context. Storytelling is one of the best ways to improve your English naturally, helping you remember words and use them with confidence. By the end of this video, you'll not only improve your listening and comprehension, but also learn 3 powerful moral lessons and 5 vocabulary words to boost your speaking skills. So stay with me until the end. Are you ready? Let's get started. Isabella Harper stood by the window of her small apartment, staring at the city lights as they flickered like distant stars. The past had a way of clinging to her like a heavy cloak, suffocating and relentless. For years, she had carried the weight of betrayal, her heart hardened by the pain of a wound that had never healed. She had once believed in love, in trust, in the kind of bonds that could never be broken. But that belief had shattered the day she found out about Ethan, her husband of 10 years, standing in their home, holding another woman in an embrace that spoke of intimacy and deception. That image haunted her nights, and the pain echoed in every quiet moment she spent alone. "You need to let it go," Bella, her best friend Rachel, had told her countless times. "Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you." But how could she forgive when the betrayal had left scars too deep to ignore? Isabella thought that distance would erase the memories. She moved to a different city, changed her job, and surrounded herself with new people. Yet no matter how far she went, the bitterness followed. Her work as an editor at a publishing house kept her occupied. But even in the most gripping novels, she found echoes of her own pain. She avoided love, friendships that went too deep, and any situation that might require vulnerability. It was safer that way, until the past found its way back into her life. One evening, while attending a book launch event, she heard a familiar voice behind her. Turning around, she froze. There he was, Ethan. His eyes held a mixture of guilt and surprise, and in that moment, all the hurt came rushing back. "Isabella," he breathed, stepping closer. "I never thought I'd see you again." She wanted to walk away, to pretend he didn't exist, but something inside her refused to run this time. "What do you want, Ethan?" she asked, her voice steady but cold. I wanted to say I'm sorry. I know that doesn't change anything, but I need you to know how much I regret everything." His words, though sincere, did little to ease the pain. Yet, later that night, as she lay in bed, she realized something. Holding on to anger had not only kept her from him, it had kept her from herself. Forgiveness was not something that happened overnight. It was a process, a choice she had to make every single day. Isabella started therapy, something she had avoided for years. Through her sessions, she learned that forgiveness wasn't about excusing what had happened. It was about freeing herself from the chains of resentment. She also reconnected with her family, whom she had pushed away in the wake of her pain. Slowly, she allowed warmth and love back into her life. Then one day, she did the unimaginable. She wrote Ethan a letter. "I don't know if I'll ever fully understand why you did what you did, but I no longer want to carry this anger. I forgive you. Not for your sake, but for mine. I deserve peace." Months passed, and Isabella felt lighter than she had in years. She had let go of the anger, and in doing so, she had made room for something new: happiness. One afternoon, she sat in a cafe reading a manuscript when a man approached her table. "Is this seat taken?" he asked, his smile warm and kind. She looked up, meeting his eyes. For the first time in years, she smiled back. No, it's not. Forgiveness had not only freed her from the past, it had opened the door to a future she never thought possible. Moral lessons from the story. 1. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. Holding on to resentment only prolongs pain. By forgiving, You release yourself from the burden of past hurt and make room for peace. 2. Healing takes time and effort. Moving on from betrayal or heartbreak is a process that requires self-reflection, support, and sometimes professional help. Healing isn't instant, but it is always possible. 3. Letting go opens the door to new beginnings. When Isabella chose to forgive, she freed herself from the past and created space for love, happiness, and meaningful connections in her life. Now you can see that Isabella's journey teaches us that forgiveness is not about excusing the past, but about setting ourselves free. She carried the weight of betrayal for years, believing that holding on to resentment would protect her from future pain. But in reality, it only trapped her in a cycle of suffering. Through self-reflection, therapy, and the courage to confront her emotions, she discovered that forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. It is a path to peace, not a sign of weakness. By letting go, she reclaimed her happiness and opened her heart to new possibilities. In the end, Isabella didn't just forgive, she found peace, love, and a future unburdened by the past. Her story reminds us that healing is possible, and that when we choose to forgive, we choose freedom. Now let's look at these 5 vocabulary words and how to use them in a sentence. 1. Betrayal, meaning the act of being disloyal or breaking someone's trust. How to use betrayal in a sentence. Example: the betrayal she experienced left her questioning whether she could ever trust again. 2. Resentment, meaning a feeling of deep bitterness or anger due to a past wrong. How to use resentment in a sentence. Example: holding on to resentment only made her feel heavier, as if she were carrying a burden she couldn't drop. 3. Vulnerability, meaning the state of being open to emotional exposure or harm. How to use vulnerability in a sentence. Example: she avoided relationships because vulnerability made her feel unsafe. 4. Reconcile, meaning to restore a friendly relationship or come to terms with something. How to use reconcile in a sentence. Example: she didn't need to reconcile with Ethan, but she needed to reconcile with her own feelings. 5. Liberation, meaning the act of freeing oneself from restrictions or emotional burdens. How to use liberation in a sentence. Example: forgiving him wasn't for his benefit. It was her own liberation from years of pain. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment on the moral lesson you learned from this video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.